Hey Leo, how are we today? Just doing our weekly readings. This week we are just looking at a bit of, whatever needs to come out for you, what's going on in your energy. We will look at career, job, finances, as well as love and romance. But getting sort of straight on into it for you, make sure you do subscribe to the channel, of course. I suppose I should let you know I am using the Psychic Readings Oracle. I also have the Red Rose Love Oracle, and the Lenormand deck we are using this week is the Fairy Tale Lenormand. Happy birthday to all the Leos, of course. I was actually at a bit of a birthday celebration for a Leo just today, so very exciting. We had a fun one actually. We did some tattooing, so so I've got some new tattoos. So that was fun and lots of fun. Leo, what's going on for Leo? What is going on for our Leos? What does Leo need to know this week, please? Oh, butterflies. Oh, there we go. Look at that. The celebration card as well. So definitely a reason to pop the cork on that bottle. Birthday season, Leo, really enjoying it the best you can. There's a reason to celebrate. For some of you, that is simply just because it is your birthday. So you may be celebrating your birthday, or have just celebrated your birthday this week. But for a lot of others of you, there is just reason to take note of the joy in your life. So even if your birthday has already sort of passed, stopping and thinking about the joy that brought you, and thinking about all the times that you have noticed the joy and the reasons to celebrate, that no matter how small in your life. We do have the butterflies coming through there as well. So I'm also seeing sunflowers in sort of my mind's eye here as well. So I know that that's not strictly a sunflower, but I am seeing sunflowers there as well. So lots of happy, positive energy around you at the moment. A real kind of reason to spread those wings and really expand yourself into the version of yourself that you know that you truly are. I feel like a lot of you have been kind of crystallizing. You've been in that chrysalis and you've been in that cocoon, hiding yourself away from the world a little bit of late, and now is really the time to sort of break yourself out of that cocoon and understand that there is reasons to celebrate. There is you can always stop and smell the flowers and enjoy just the little things in life, and that there is a lot more to celebrate than you sometimes allow yourself to realize. Even just celebration about yourself. There does seem to be something about that you have gone through some sort of transformation in the recent past here, and that in itself is reason to celebrate, that you have come a lot further than maybe you thought you were going to, that certain things in your life have transformed and evolved around you here. But clarifying that energy for you, Leo, what's going on for Leo? What's in Leo's energy this week? Yeah, a lot of you, it's the self-growth stuff, we do have the tree coming out first. So there's definitely a lot of healing and self-growth that you have been through. And it's kind of time to really take stock of that and understand that you aren't the same version of yourself that you were even just a month ago, 2 months ago, a year ago. You have transformed and grown and healed some part of you that was scarred or broken in some kind of a way. Not I don't want to be dramatic there, but for a lot of you, this is something that it's been kind of an ongoing process, and you sort of don't feel as healed as you actually are, and you're not stopping and giving yourself credit for how far you have already come. You may not be exactly where you want to be on that journey, but you have already taken a lot of steps in the right direction. So it's kind of asking you to just stop and be a bit nicer to yourself about how far you have already come, and really sort of stop and just allow yourself to enjoy yourself for who you are, and where you're going as well, and who you're going to be in the future. We have the tower there as well. So once again, a lot of you have been sort of in that cocoon, isolating yourselves quite heavily in the recent past. So it's kind of time for you to know that it's time to let down your hair. I don't know whether you can see that on this particular card, but in this card it is the Rapunzel tower with her hair hanging out the window. So it is time for you to sort of let down your hair and allow yourself to sort of see that you have grown, and that it is now time to let down your hair, to spread your wings, to celebrate how far you've already come, celebrate knowing that if I've come this far already, I know I can go further as well. It's kind of this midpoint for you where any solitude that you are taking, using it to appreciate yourself, so that you can allow that to become a part of yourself, and finding that confidence within yourself, just knowing this is who I am, and I'm happy being this version of myself, taking a little bit more of a structured look at who you really are. I feel like it can be a very sort of regimented educational type energy, this tower. So it's kind of like, if you think about, I'm just kind of getting that for some of you it may be easier for you to think about it as, you know as if this was a lesson you were learning at school, that self-growth has been, a subject you're studying at school. And it's kind of like, well, you're at the point where you're now able to sit down and pass some of those exams. You may not be passing all of those exams, but you're now able, you've learnt a lot already. And to sort of stop and realize that, hang on, well, summary of the last chapter, I'm much more educated on this topic of how to look after me and who I am than I was a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. I have matured and grown a lot more than I realized, and I've studied. I've been doing the work. So it's time to sort of, when I do isolate myself, I should be doing so in a way that is congratulating myself, and doing what I need to do to take care of myself even more. Rather than isolating myself away from the world kind of energy. We also have the clover here. So I do feel as though this is specifically talking about this celebration energy, that there is a reason to celebrate. There is, an investment that's paying off. This feels like good luck, sort of good luck around you at the moment. It could just be something very, very small, like you're walking down the street and you find $10 on the side of the road. It could be, you're winning $10 on a scratchy. You're winning something. Winning does feel like you are winning something here, at this kind of short term. It is a very short term energy. So it does feel like strictly sometime this week you are, ahead in something that you thought that you were behind in, that your investments are starting to pay off, to show dividends for you. So even if it's just in the smallest amount of ways, like you're realizing, oh, look, this week I've spent $50 less on groceries than I have been in the past. But do you know what? I still made it work. So, congratulations. I'm winning. I'm $50 ahead to where I would normally be. That kind of thing, just small little things like that. It's literally like finding a 4-leaf clover and all day long you'll have good luck kind of energy. Okay. Leo, what's going on for Leo in the material world? So looking at job, career, finances, the general day-to-day stuff for our Leos. Material world for Leo. Very, very flat message here. There's not much expansion on this message. It's pretty straightforward. We have the birds coming through. We have the dog there, as well as the feminine energy. So this is quite literally conversations with friends, female friends specifically. Enjoying spending time with female friends and enjoying the conversations that we're having. And really nurturing those relationships that you have with a female friend or some female friends. It's paying off. There's a lot of loyalty, compassion, understanding. Even if they're not deep conversations, it's like there's this layer of understanding about, we're all on the same page. We all have common interests, or, I know that these people are here, and they're going to support me, regardless, that kind of thing. And the conversations, even if they're gossip, gossip, chitter chatter, it's kind of just giving you that light-hearted energy at the moment, giving you a little bit more faithfulness in yourself and in your friendships and just in your life in general. So the day-to-day sort of stuff is seems to be more about the day-to-day. For some of you, this could be more specifically co-worker friends, but I'll take that as it resonates for you. There could just be, it doesn't feel like any bad sort of gossip or anything like that. It's just like, how you're just like sitting down and enjoying having a little bit of a bitch sesh or a gossip session with some friends. It feels just like that. It's quite sweet, kind of nice energy, just to know that you've got people in your corner, kind of energy there on the day to day. So if that's something that you have been feeling as though you're isolating yourself from those sorts of people in your life, and once again with the feminine, I don't normally genderize. It does feel more like females, but for others of you, this may just be very strong female energy. So someone that's very nurturing and supportive type energy, which we would, hope for with friends as well anyway. But there's a closeness there, an emotional closeness there, a depth there, that you feel as though you're safe to have whatever emotions or talk about whatever emotions you need to, the good and the bad. And there will be some sort of understanding, or compassion, empathy, that kind of stuff. What about love and romance? Love and romance for the Leos. What's going on for Leo at the moment with love and romance? Anxiety, worry. There's been some concerns. It doesn't necessarily feel like this is actually connected to anything. It does feel as though it's just like a general worry, a general anxiety over nothing kind of thing that you may be just finding when it comes to love or partnerships, or the people that you're involved with on a romantic side of things. There's just a general sensation of anxiety. It doesn't really give me a reason for that. It's just sort of just maybe just an emotional, like, it's kind of, it just feels like just one of those days kind of thing, where this week is just one of those weeks where, anxiety is plaguing you a little bit, and you maybe do have a few unfounded worries. It is coming across as very unfounded, that there's no actual reason for the anxiety and the concern here, but it's still there, niggling at you a little bit. So just be aware of that. You may be dealing with that a little bit this week on the love front. But we do have the reconciliation, rebuilding energy. So, maybe that's what the anxiety is about, like I want to feel closer again. I want to feel, that I can reconcile this relationship. Even if this is somebody that you see every single day, there may just be something about the relationship that you're just wanting to build it a little bit stronger and reconcile some differences between the two of you. And I am picking up for some of you, it's got specifically to do with something sexual that you're wanting to, reconcile some sort of sexual difference, or that you've maybe, once again with that, it's drawing me back to that tower energy, that maybe you have been isolating yourself away from a love partner. Like, doesn't necessarily mean that it's a partner. It could just be, like a situationship, or someone that you're casually dating. You maybe have been isolating yourself from that person a little bit and just feeling very separate. And that's where that anxiety, that worry is playing at you a little bit there. And you're just trying to rebuild the physical passion between the two of you a little bit this week. We have the call, hearing from them. So they're going to be speaking to you in some form. It may just be, some, calling you while they're at work, or, wanting to talk to you just a little bit more than usual. They seem to be in this reconciliation, rebuilding. It's not so much a rebuilding, a reconciliation. It's more a strengthening I'm getting. So there may just be some emotional strengthening going on, and you may just notice that the communication has some sort of increase for you this week with love. And for those of you that are single, you may actually be hearing from somebody that you haven't seen for a little while on the love front. as well with that reconciliation and then the hearing from them energy. So you may actually be sort of getting someone popping up a little bit here, ready to, we have give and take. We have equal energy there with the bouquet flying on out. So, that's positive energy, giving and taking, presents, gifts. You may have received a good birthday gift from someone on the love front. You may be receiving something yet to come for some of you. For others of you, it's more to do with the time, the love, the energy that you're receiving and giving. It's very reciprocal. As much as you're giving to this person, you're receiving. As much as you're willing to put into this, they're willing to put into this as well. We have the lilies. So once again, emotional intimacy. It's coming through strongly for you in love and romance this week. So once again, it's communication, but also that kindness of wanting to communicate our emotions to somebody and share our emotions and our truth and whatnot with somebody. And it's long-term energy. This is this sort of love energy is around for the long haul. This, especially this reciprocal energy. The more that you're giving, the more that you're receiving, and it's kind of sticking around for the long haul in your energy here. It's kind of having the knowledge to know that this intimacy between yourself and somebody else is here to stay. It's not sort of going to drop off overnight, that kind of thing. So once again, those anxieties are unfounded for the Leo that does have those anxieties playing up this week. We do have the fox here as well. So, once again, I feel like that could be to do with that anxiety, that you're maybe worried somebody is playing mind games a little bit, trying to manipulate you a little bit with the emotional stuff. It's not. It feels like it's not. Okay, it feels like I need to reassure you that the communication, the conversations, the emotional intimacy, the amount of whatever they're giving you, it's real. It's reciprocal, that they're wanting to give this to you. There's not an underlying motive, that kind of thing. They're not playing games with you. They may be, there's a certain aspect of maybe doing what we need to do, saying what we need to say to get what we want, but that feels like it's a very physical kind of thing, that it's kind of someone maybe um, being very upfront about what they want on a physical level, because there's an independency there, a taking care of themselves kind of energy there, that someone's wanting to take care of themselves it feels very physical, that it's very much about, oh, I'll do this for you if you do this for me, kind of thing. Like, once again, the give and take is still there, but it's very much like, I want to get this out of the situation. I want this specific sexual thing. I'm willing to do this and this and this for you, but if you do this for me, kind of thing. So there is that there as well. But that's what we've got for you this week, Leo. You're more than welcome to check your other placements, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all again soon.